I'm going to run your test today on a GSC 500-700. This is a 50 horsepower unit. It has a 3-knife rotor. The diameter rotor is 500 millimeters, and the width is going to be 700 millimeters. What I did was your pipes came in 20-foot sections. What we did is we broke them down into 15-inch, then I have 18-inch, 20-inch type sections all the way up to 28 inches. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them in there. We're going to film it dropping them in there. And so you'll see which ones make it. This is your smallest one, smallest diameter. And then we go to your second largest diameter to your largest diameter. And we're gonna run them, and then we'll show you which ones will need to be cut and at what area they need to be cut, just to make it into the system. And so this may take a little bit of time, but I'll keep the video. I'll be going on and off as we load them up. So you'll see the ones which are successful. You see the ones which the opening and the rotor diameter is not big enough to handle them. And then we'll just keep running them through until we have to basically cut them all, so you know exactly where you need to cut these pieces. And again, this is a GSC 500-700. We also have other units that are, we have 700 1000s and other much larger units, which would have no problem handling the larger pieces of pipe, but you can make the decision on where you want to do the cutoff on the size of the machine for the amount of pipes you're going to run. All right, Paul's going to load up your first piece, and this is cut at 15 inches. It's the full diameter. It's the smallest one he's sent. All right, Paul, ready? That had no problem consuming it. It took it right away. And we're going to go to the next largest piece right now. And again, this is cut in a 15-inch length. So when he puts it in, we'll see how she runs. All right, Paul. That pipe again took it. We didn't need to cut it. We had no activity on it. What we're going to do is we're going to let it digest a little bit, and then I'll start it up again with the larger pipe. Okay, here's the size of the pipe. This is the mid-size one that you sent to us. This is 18 inches in diameter. This larger one you got here, she's actually nearly 21, a little more than 21. The issue we're going to have with this one is that the opening here for it is only 22 inches, so that's going to have a really hard time going through, but we're going to try and orient it a different way and see how it runs. So we're going to take this one, run this again just so you can see it again. The 18-inch one go in there, and again this one's going to be 18 inches, it's in diameter, and the length of it is 15 inches. And then we're going to try this one, but we're going to orientate it differently so it slides in kind of on an angle like that and see how she does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up the machine right now. And Paul's going to load this guy. I have no problem with the 18-inch by 15-inch piece. We're going to let it run for a second, and then we're going to take that piece. All right, ready? We're going to run this one, and we're going to orientate it differently when we put it in. Paul's going to put it in long way to see how she does. So we didn't have to cut this piece because the way Paul oriented it was this way into the mouth of it. It took it without any issues. So that's actually pretty darn good. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a second one just to show you another one going through. You ready to grab that one and put it in the same way? Yes. So that took it without an issue, we're gonna move up a size. I'm gonna let this run out and then bring it up a size. Okay, the first sample we did was 15 inches. Now we're gonna do the same parts, but at 20 inches high. So we're gonna start up the machine. Paul's gonna go through the same process. First put in the skinnier one, then the 18-inch one, then the one that's over 20 inches, and we'll see how she fits in there. So we'll just run the same sample so you can see how each of them are running. Come over here, turn around. You ready? We're gonna put the first one in. No problem at all handling the first one at 20 inches. Let it process a little bit. And then we're going to drop in the next largest size. You ready? No problem handling the middle size, cut at 20 inches. In good shape. We'll let it process through a little bit and then we'll run the big one. All right, Paul's got the large one. We had to reorientate it. Again, this is 20 inches, so we gotta make sure she actually fits through there. That's gonna be our difficult point. Okay, it won't go. Try the other way. No, the other way. Yep. The opening's just not large enough for this piece. It's too big to get in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guy and we're gonna just basically slice her in half, and then we'll go and run the 26 or 27 inch pieces next. All right, we're gonna run your last ones, and here's the height of these. They're 28 inches. So we're gonna run this guy and then the other guy. The big one we've cut in half to run it. So I'm gonna start the machine. We'll do that one first, Paul. Okay. It had no problem taking the 28 inch smaller size. We'll go with this size next. That was a little too much for the unit. See how she jammed it? So the 28 inch was just too much for the unit. What happened is when we put in the mid-size one, she basically froze the motor and burned the belts on the unit. So clearly that's too big to put in. So here is the material that we ran for you. We ran it with a 12mm screen. And it did a good job, but we got to the point where we went 28 inches wide with your mid-size one. It was just too much for that whole rotor to take all at once. So that one, we had no problems at the 20 inch, we had no problems at the 15 inch with any of them. The only time we had a problem was when we went up to the 28 inch with the mid-size guy. It just jammed right into the rotor and just stuck it. And then the belt just kind of spun, and she basically amped out and turned off. But this is your material, and I'll send you a video of everything.